Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyF1, and we're here for the second of two streams on this channel, but third stream today, far over me for, yeah, the last stream of the evening, and we're here for the SFeatleyF1's debate show, and I've got my man, he's gonna be a regular co-host panelist on this channel, Brit, my man. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing great. Looking forward to what you have in store for the people. Bring them the quality F1 content that they expect, and blow their minds and make it even better.
Yeah, man, we're gonna try and do it as much as we can, man. We're gonna try and bring as best F1 content as we possibly can and as good as we can. And all we ask is if you just raise awareness for Children's Liver Disease Foundation and Return. That's all we ask you to do.
That's not asking a
And
whole lot.
subscribe.
Easy to do.
The more subscribers we get, the more awareness we raise. So there we are. Let's do this. So F1's debate show. By the way, if you do miss this, don't make sure you go back and watch it. But we're gonna start with the big news, and that is Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has returned from the depths of despair. He's returned. He has returned to his social media. Still not following on Twitter, funny enough. But he is not. He's finally back on Twitter, Instagram, with a simple Instagram post. I've been gone. Now I'm back. Ouch. That sounds to me like he means business. So, and you can see some of the things he's been up to while he's been away. Let's have a look at some of the pictures here. Look at that. Wow. Obviously, they're at Windsor Castle to collect his knighthood, his well-deserved knighthood.
Mm-hmm.
Right, big up the haters, right, as well. You're loving it. But yeah, I mean, what did you make? Did you make it right? Lewis needed the time to just go away and just disappear for time. One, did you agree with that? Did you feel he needed to just disappear for a period of time to gather his thoughts and his over emotions over what was a disgusting sort of way to end the championship?
No, I mean, definitely. It was smart because, I mean, the way things were going, it was very up in the air. He was
It was very
very,
charged, very highly charged at the
yes,
time.
yes, he was angry. He had probably a lot going on in his head, and of course, having a camera thrown in your face right away, it's not good. So the way some things come off, it's like, whoa, this guy really really unhappy. So all this, going to be done, blah blah blah. It's coming out. You sit back, step back, decompartmentalize everything, and just break everything down, and just get away from it first, and then come back to it, think about it, and go back at it, redo it in your head, and try to remove as much emotion from the incident that you can, so you can think clearly, speak clearly, let out a conscious thought. So yeah, I thought it was a very, very intelligent move on his part, showing you how mature he is. He wanted to think about it, get away, and nowadays the way you get away is you leave social media alone for a little while,
Yeah.
because there's so much noise.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this, especially as if you're a major celebrity, everyone, if you don't like message in a day, people are like, "Where you been?"
Right.
Like, so like, it's not like we could get away from Twitter for a week and people are like, "Oh yeah, was he away from Twitter? Oh, I didn't know." This is, but yeah, so obviously he needed the time away to gather his thoughts and just take a extensive break. It's just shame he's done that. It's come back now. I wrote a letter. I tell a lie. I wrote a letter to him to sort of just ask him to meet him one more time because like for me like he's had during his career I've had 3 transplants at a time, and being able to watch him race whilst going through all that rubbish and all that trauma, it has helped us sort of stay alive in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And it might sound weird, but it has. I know it for a fact. Because you have something to look forward to, like whilst you're in there. So, I'm not gonna change the letter now. I'm gonna post it, and I dated it saying it was before you decided to come back. So yeah. But anyway, that's me rabbiting on. We Will Wales Sport Rally. I hope you're doing, mate. I'll just call you Will Wales Sport. I don't want to really try and get the name wrong. I didn't know if Lewis was gonna do this year's championship. So upset he could easily retire. He's got a close company, extreme racing team. Glad he's not though. Yeah, that's the thing. He's not just got that. He's got his music as well. He can easily go into that. He's already produced one record already. So, like, there's a multiple things he can do once he leaves F1. Um, it's Raleigh. It's Wally. Sorry. I'm yeah. Do apologize. Rolleye Sport. What Rolleye Sport or something like that. I'm terrible at pronunciation sometimes. But yeah. Um, yeah. It's nice he had the time to just take away, gather his thoughts, leave everyone alone. Let everyone leave him alone,
Right.
so he can get his head around it. I don't think he'd ever overcome it, but just be further driven to push forward. And one thing I know with Lewis Hamilton, you don't want to fuck him off. You really don't. At your peril. If you do, uh, um, if you do it at your own peril.
Right.
Because this guy, whenever he's pissed off, that's when he ends up going on a winning streak. Like he turns any sort of negativity into a positive. So like when Chadwick Bosman died, dominated the Grand Prix, right?
Mm-hmm.
When his I think even his pet dog died, smashed it the next 3 Grand Prix, I believe. Like the guy is so mentally like a block. It's
Right.
unreal. Whereas you saw last season with Verstappen, whenever he didn't get pole or he didn't get the win that he deserved, he was like sulking or bashing the barrier or something like that. Hamilton's just like calm, reserved, and just walk away and
Right.
doesn't show any of that. So his mentality up here is unreal.
Correct.
Uh,
The mentality of a champion.
yeah, and a mentality of a 7-time world champion at that.
Right.
And uh, the last, yeah. So I mean, do you expect Lewis to be, as long as obviously the car is obviously stronger? Because obviously you do. Anyone that thinks you can win it without a strong car, right? You need to watch F1 properly. You're
Right.
gonna need a strong car. Like
Yeah.
people saying you win because of the car. Well, no, but you have to, right? Because the car's got to be good enough to win a race. So if Mercedes give him the car, as long as George Russell to we come into a second in a minute, do you feel Lewis will be like an untouchable mentally, unbreakable force next season?
I do. And if I'm and thankfully I'm not. If I'm Max or Red Bull, this
Horner.
championship doesn't make very.
To be
Yeah, this
honest, I'm not really very pissed off with Max. I know his driving can piss me
right.
off, right?
Yeah,
And some of his driving antics, especially Saudi Arabia, was disgusting. But like
but if I'm him,
Horner,
I'm
Horner is the one
afraid.
that fucks me off.
Yeah,
Horner's the one that does it.
yeah, I'm afraid if I'm them, because you poke the bear.
Mm.
You do not poke the bear, and Hamilton
Even their
going
comments in
away.
the Red Bull launch today, going on about the end of last season and how great it was. I'm like, are you joking?
We'll move on. We're on to 2022 now, dude. 2021's over.
Oh
You
yeah,
go to try and
but no,
defend
but
your
just like
title.
saying that, like how you're saying that the end of the 21 season was legit. Like you know it weren't legit. You know for a fact it
No,
weren't legit. Come on, let's
he's
be real.
gotta, yeah, he's gotta help himself sleep at night, and that's how they and t- the counter of the mentality of uh Hamilton is Red Bull, because they don't have that same mentality. Like Corner getting on, running his spiel. You never Hamilton never came out with this and the getting
Mm,
ready for the next season, and legitimizing his previous title. That never
yeah,
came up. It
I mean,
was, I won, but I we gotta get ready for this year because I want to win this year.
yeah, I mean, here is Max is cocky and annoying. Yeah, it can be, but I think it's mainly because of a product of what Horner is. And
Yeah,
Horner is like, I'm gonna wipe your ass, Max. No matter what you do, you could commit fucking murder, and I'll still back you. Like he could commit murder, like like he could be a serial killer. Like, and the guy would be his defense lawyer. I'm not even lying. Like, I'm not joking. How can after a brake test you defending Max? He's unreal. Like,
yeah.
even to a point, even as a team principal, I would have been pulling him aside. I'm like, no, that ain't on.
And
That
not for
ain't on.
1 second do you think that conversation happened.
No, no. They're real like that's bull. Yeah, you know what I mean. Horner is arrogant and always thinks he's right about everything. Pretty much. Pretty much. I used to have respect for him in a way. Back in the day with Vettel and Red Bull, because they did it. Like, they weren't like assholes. They weren't just doing it in a really bad, like way of trying to drag a driver through a mud or anything like that.
Right,
Last season, the way they behaved, especially towards Silverstone after Silverstone, when we all saw it, Hamilton never changed his steering angle. He was side by side going into the corner. So what's he supposed to do? Just disappear? Like he tried to back out of it as much as he could and lift to the point where he was going to make the corner, but he wasn't going to back out because he's side by side with him. He's a legitimized to go in that corner. Eh, Uh, but but like Max, he's decided we're going to turn further in and just make sure he disappears.
and
So,
he did. I don't care what people say. I watched the
well, it's
video.
there. The clips are there, mate. The clips are there, mate.
I
People
don't know
actually
how
go and watch it
people.
properly. The
I
people
don't.
love to make a judgment and not read the what the situation is. Like if you watch the slow mo.
Mm-hmm.
But even full pace, if you saw them go side by side at full pace, you'll see them at that particular point before he hits the brakes. They were side by side before you even have a chance. You know where sometimes where it's too fast to pause it.
Right.
That isn't you. There is like a whole second where it was side by side,
Mm-hmm.
or at least over that much, which means you are entitled to space.
Right. It definitely, whatever, you can argue who was in front, who was not, but what you
Yeah,
can't you argue was a position established
yeah, but
going up, and clearly, yes, there was.
yeah,
Hamilton has has no obligation at all except to take that corner safely. But he's not even given the room to take that corner safely because his colleague moved the steering wheel and came down.
But look, anyway, but that's last season,
That's
and we
2021.
want to talk about this season, and like this season he's gonna be far stronger. I can see it coming. Like if you thought 2020 was strong, you thought 2019 was strong. Like get ready for this season because I think this season I think we'll probably see him at his absolute peak.
Oh, he has
I
all
think he'll
the
be.
he has all the bulletin board material. Not like he needs any
Mm,
because he has a champion mentality. He's going to put his head down and focus anyway. But
it'd be
already,
interesting to see how Max responds.
that is also something I am looking forward to. That is a very very good point and something to look at. Not only how um, Hamilton responds to um, let's just say not winning the championship and to come back stronger and to make another run at a championship, but also how Max
Mm,
responds in defending his championship, new car. How's he going to handle all the new specs?
yeah,
What is he going to want them to do to the car within their little buffer area that they can adjust? Which ones will he favor? Will Red Bull go with what he wants?
Red Bull
And
will go with whatever Max wants. Let's be
no,
honest. Like
yeah,
Perez, you're the side piece. Like we don't
right.
care.
I hope
Like
you like everything Max wants to do.
yeah, but basically whatever Max is getting, he's getting, and you're just gonna try to bring up the rear. So
Right.
you just better make sure you make do. Like but it'd be interesting. I'm gonna bring on to my next point as well. Just go for this as one. Well, so Noda, what do you think? What do you think? He was quite a bit slower than Gasly, Pierre Gasly in 2021. I thought his comments were amazing. I crashed so much. I got a new contract is amazing. Can't believe. Yeah, that sort of attitude is like if you're gonna have that sort of attitude, fuck off. There's plenty of other drivers that want to have that seat, mate. Piastri wants that seat, for example.
Hmm.
Piastri is a proper he's an F2 champion, but because he's hasn't got the he's not uh, probably because he's not Japanese and it's AlphaTauri Honda, like so they want to have a Japanese driver in there. He doesn't get the seat, right? But anyway, it's his he was a part of the he's part of the Ferrari program anyway. So why is he not getting a seat at Alfa or Haas? I haven't got a clue. But there you go. But that's another
Right.
debate in itself. I want to move on to obviously the teammates. Now we know obviously he's coming back. His team. Hi mate, how are you? Hope you're well. Yeah. Um, you good? Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. All right. If you're careful, I might throw a bone.
Right. Mama's home.
Yeah. If you're thinking about it, looking at Lewis Hamilton, if you look, if you're looking at if you're looking at Lewis Hamilton and George Russell coming into it, what do you
Right.
think about George Russell going forward as
Uh,
teammates?
he very exciting driver. Uh, I know a lot of people looking forward to him getting in the seat of a proper car. I think he's given a tremendous opportunity. I see no reason why he won't be able to step up because he's going to have a really good car. He's going to have,
Mm.
well, I really can't say that, but
Well,
he's
he
going to
saw
have the
his
best car
Sakia.
he's ever sat in.
Oh yeah, he's going to be much better than what he had in the Williams by a mile. Let's not get that wrong.
Right, exactly.
um,
He's quite capable. I do not question his ability whatsoever. Um, I'm sure he looks up to Hamilton, so I don't think there will be any issue being driving partners with him. I think they'll make a
Oh, I
good
love it
team.
when it's live, man. Carry on,
Uh,
man.
yeah, but he'll be very good. I think they should work together because I'm sure he looks up to Hamilton with the greatest of respects, and the team that surrounds them, and he should slide in. He should be good to go. He probably has a better. It'll probably be a better working relationship than what he had
Mm-hmm. Mm.
because he got too big to be a second driver.
Oh, I think the problem is, I think it's going to be interesting, that relationship, because he's the future for Mercedes. Hamilton's going to be the past, and we all know
Right.
it's coming. I think this is Hamilton's final 2 years, including this season. I don't think he'll renew his contract after that. Total will leave, and I think he'll leave with them.
Right.
That's my feeling on it. A real feeling on it. So George Russell will want to learn as much as he can in these 2 years. I
Correct.
do think this season he'll be just as fast, but I think he'll have to take those learning steps of consistently being up there in the top three week after week after week after week after week, which I know he'll do better than Perez. I'm sure he will do better than Perez than, because in the one race he did, yes, Perez won that Grand Prix from the back, right? But that shouldn't have been Perez's. That should have been George Russell's. He destroyed everyone in that Grand Prix by
Yeah.
a mile. So I do feel that he will help them secure another constructors if they are up there fighting for it. Because they are probably the biggest. I think they're probably the best partnership, best strongest partnership you've probably got on the grid. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Um, there are a couple of others, and I will mention a couple of others as we go later on into the stream. Thanks for chatting about George Russell. Entering to hear your thoughts of what he's going to do in 2022. I think him, Max, Lewis, top three most races. Wait and see. Don't think he will beat Lewis much. Well, we'll wait and see, mate. Obviously, we can't tell what's going to happen with other teams and the regulations, how it's affecting everyone, and we don't know if it's going to be exactly the same as 2021. You never
Right.
know, but we just have to throw it all up in the air and see what pre-testing brings up along. And also pre-testing might be more relevant, so I want to try and see if they can get as much pace as they can get out of their cars as possible,
Right.
um, so they make sure they're not falling behind. But anyway, like I will think he'll be more of a team player this season. Next season, I think he'll try and stamp his authority. I mean, never know. Like if Hamilton doesn't start off too well to the start of the season, which he's had bad starts to a winning championship before and still won the championship, he may want to
Right.
try and stamp his authority straight away. Like to say,
Yeah.
look, I'm here. I'm not here to be second driver. I'm here to like take over. Like, so it'd be interesting how that partnership goes because you've got two drivers at both ends of the spectrum. If you're looking at, if anyone's played the F1 game, Breaking Point, for example, the character you play in Breaking Point on the first half of the season, and then his teammate in the second half of the season, it's like that. Like like the guy you play in the first season is in his first season of F1, right, and he's just joined the team, and he's the future for the team, and you've got who's going to then also push on to be maybe go on to Mercedes or anything. And in the next season, you've got his teammate who's in his last two seasons or season, right, on his way out of Formula One. So it's
Right.
again, so you've got that kind of relationship and like politics going on. And it'd be interesting how I see it plays out. I don't think they'll end up fighting in the middle of the paddock, like, but I doubt that
No.
very much. But I think Russell, I know, will be very smart enough to just probably sometimes sit back and just sit there and learn off what Hamilton does and how he executes his race plan and his races and um, how he maintains to be such a consistent front runner for the majority of the season. Because that's the thing, as much as you might have done it once in the one Grand Prix at the Mercedes, you're going to have to Mercedes are going to ask you to be doing that every single week.
Right.
Like
Yeah, because
every single week.
you have to. Both cars have to if you're looking at that constructors.
This is why they've put up with it for so long with Bottas and Hamilton and left him at Williams for so long, which is now he spent 3 seasons there at Williams because they wanted to make sure he was fully ready and proved himself enough to get him in that seat. Even after last season, people were crying out for him to replace Bottas straight away after
Right.
Sakia. But they said, no, we're just not. There's just mistakes that he's made that we need him to iron out. And last season, apart from maybe Imola, that's probably about it, really. There's not much else mistakes he can make. Saudi Arabia wasn't really his fault.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like second in Belgium was just out of this planet. Like I thought it was gonna be pole. Like, you know what I mean? So like until Max decided to spoil the party as usual. So it's just, but good point. Wonder if any other teams will be up there. Hopefully, make it more interesting at the front, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, guys? We will find out after testing in the first race.
There
Testing,
will be
yes.
another team up there.
Testing will always be a way of looking to see who could be there. You can't really say that's going to be the order because we've seen Ferrari dominate testing in 2019, came to the race, and then they never turned up. Like, they didn't turn up until Bahrain. Then they had their engine problem. Then China didn't turn up. Baku didn't turn up. Spain didn't turn up. Like, so, you know what I mean? So it's never the be all and end all, is what I'm saying. But example, Ferrari and McLaren are going to be one of those teams you look towards as being one of those teams. Maybe Aston Martin with the amount of investment that's been put into the team. And plus, they had a pretty poor season last season to some standards. So they are low down the table, which means more wind tunnel time.
Right.
I think also that might be due to the fact they didn't spend a lot in upgrades. Some teams that I think Alfa Romeo is another one of those. Williams, I think, spent a little bit. I know Red Bull. If you're looking at the top 2 teams from last season, Red Bull definitely spent the most.
Yeah.
And this is what I said during the watch along for the Red Bull car launch. Will their overspending last season cost them? We don't know until the car takes to the tracks. We'll have to wait and see. But I want to, yeah. But we'll obviously don't forget tomorrow we are live for Aston Martin's car launch, whether it be at the hospital or at home, I don't know. But we will be live for it. If we're not, then like do check SFeatleyTV's community tab page on YouTube and plus F1 our Twitter page on SFeatleyF1 I'll let you know if we're going ahead with it or not, because if I'm stuck at hospital, can't really help it. Right. McLaren did not have a good finish to the year. They went backwards for some reason. Do like Ricciardo. Hope he has a better 2022. Yeah, Ricciardo did have a struggle in 2022. And I want to move on to be fair. Speaking of McLaren, they've committed Lando Norris to another new 4-year deal, which would take him to the 2025, I believe it is. I believe it is. It's now. They've extended his contract. So obviously they see him as the future for McLaren, and Norris is quite happy to be at McLaren. So obviously, if I look at the new regulations, he's quite happy to see what they're producing. Maybe that spells a something like that, where you've got a top driver, and he is a top driver, despite him being only 2 seasons in, and committing a long-term future when you are looking at new regs and we don't know who's at the front yet or not. That must surely spell out positive vibes coming from McLaren. Same as positive vibes from Ferrari, positive vibes from Mercedes. Red Bull have been very, very quiet. They've been very quiet. Usually they're the ones that have been yeah, we're this, we're that.
Right.
Like, you know what Horner's like? He loves to give it this, right? Whenever he can. So the fact that they've been very quiet does speak a lot of volumes to me. Like,
I
it was
think
kind
so
of like
too.
2014. 2014, they went very quiet as well for the start of that season, and then look what happened. So I don't think it was gonna be bad as that, by the way, because they've got a Honda that they've got a Honda engine now actually work. Like, yeah,
They've
they
come a
won't get out.
long way.
Yeah, they won't get out the pit lane. It'll just go. Uh, like, yeah, well, Honda have come a long way, haven't they? They have come a long way since, like, they've overtaken Renault. Like, Renault are like the slowest of the whole out of all of them. Thoughts on Hulkenberg being test driver for Aston Martin? I thought he might easily get a drive. He's 50 times better. Yeah, but it depends if Aston Martin want to load him out to Williams. I don't think Williams want to take on his contract though. If he's been at Williams before, and it's whether the Hulkenberg wants to suit the role or not. My guess is he didn't want to be he didn't want to. If they're happy with Latifi, then they're happy with him there. So if what will also be if Williams are more competitive next season, it will expose how good Latifi is or not. Because if
Mhm.
he's still towards the back, and I think it's Albon, I believe it is in that seat as well. And his Albon is improving. Then yeah, then the Latifi will get exposed again. So like there you go. But yeah, as what do you make of like Norris and his contract extension with Ricciardo? Them and like,
I
how do
I
you see it?
I I think it's good for
It's a
them. I
bold
think
move for a young driver.
yeah, I think he's a quality driver. I do think it is a bold move, like you're saying too. I completely agree. I think uh he should be up for it. Everybody's betting on him. He's betting on himself,
Mm.
and it will depend on the mentality for so little into it, so new, to be taking on something like this. You have to feel that he is ready for it. The team feels he is ready for it, and it's just, well, we're going to find out right here, right now, whether or not I am. And hey, let's try it, because if it doesn't work, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. I hear that. I feel that there's something that he believes in there, and that's why he's sticking with him. Just to let you
I
know,
agree.
if you haven't seen the car launch earlier, this is the new. This is not like one of these, which is just that painted livery on. This is the actual car that they've produced. This is Red Bull's answer to the new rules, right? So there you go. With number one, obviously, because Max is the world champion. So
I can't see it real good. Is there a little asterisk by the number one?
what's that?
I said I can't see it that good. Is there an asterisk by the number one?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Well,
no.
we have a saying, like, anything that happened, but you're like, no, it's under controversy or it's under protest. You put an asterisk by there
No, no,
for
no, no. It's not
that.
on the protest or anything like that. So it's all dealt with. But yeah. Apparently, F1 22 cars will be a lot faster on straights. Says Red Bull. That makes sense in a way because of the lack of downforce on the wings. Because there's less demand on wings producing the downforce, and it's more about 3D floor.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's probably why. Um, Big up,
Well,
Adam. I
well,
hope
give
you're
these
well,
cars
bro.
clean air.
Yeah, and like I
Yeah,
said, 16% within 10 meters of being in the car in front compared to 46.
yeah, because there's
So
nothing that can mess up the way the car's running just with
he's waiting for the
dirty,
17th.
dirty, filthy air, especially when you like, especially at the beginning when you have everybody close, everybody's braking harder than
Yeah.
they will during the race, all this dust kick up. Like it's very, very important if you can design to get your car designed just to get the clean air into the car because, like you said before, like you got to think about that car behind you too.
Well, the
And
teams don't, but the FIA
well,
do because
correct,
obviously, like you know, what I mean, the teams don't care. They don't. They want anything that makes their car go faster. But
right,
obviously, that's why barge boards have come off and all those side panels have come off. Like so, there you go. So, not a big fan of the Red Bull car. Why is that? I mean, it's just like the same as any other Red Bull car. It's the same design, same nose, same. It's the same livery design. So I'm waiting for the 17th. That'll be Ferrari. Obviously the 18th is Mercedes, so I'm waiting for the 18th. So yeah, I have to wait longer for you, like for you people. And obviously, if you can see here, this is has that's livery. That's not their actual car. That's a livery design. Uh, exactly. Oh, so you're not a fan because it's exactly the same. Well, what else did you expect? Like it's exactly what you expect. If you look at the actual model that they brought out originally, and if I'm looking at Red Bull's answer, Red Bull look a little bit more streamlined on the front nose. Their front nose is a little bit thinner, which is kind of like it was last season with a and also the front wing looks as wide as it possibly can be. It looks a lot wider than it looks than it does on the the car they brought out after at the British Grand Prix, which was the general design. So that's what I'm taking for it. So it's maybe trying to max out as much as front aero as possible.
right.
And they've probably done the same on the rear as well to try and save as much as they can of the rear and front aero. Um, so yeah, but it's if anyone wants to know, it's the underneath the car. What have they done underneath that's going to make it so much better? But it also means that they cannot, if they go over the grass or gravel or anything like that, it could cause a lot of damage to their downforce because of all the the 3D floor, which is basically causing ground effects, sucking the air to the road,
Right.
sucking the car to the road with the amount of air it's producing, like funneling through at such a rate of knots.
Which at the beginning, and like you just said, what you'll probably see is everybody going to the max front wing that they possibly can because we don't know with these changes how the car is going to react.
Mm.
And they got to be able to get that car to bite, take the turn, and stay in your lane when you're taking the turn.
Yeah,
Can't be able to handle that. So during the season, you may see a more streamlined development, pending
plus you
how
get
they're doing
also
their spending.
plus also you might also see Red Bull have usually been a very short base car. That car compared to last season looks very much longer. Right, so maybe they're trying to adopt. They are trying to adopt. How do I put this?
Help Max turn better.
No, I think like obviously the longer the car, if you have a longer wheelbase, tracks like Monaco is a pain in the ass. It's difficult to turn around and get good turning and everything. So,
Right,
but short wheelbase is it's great, but you don't produce as much downforce from the floor of the car, and because obviously most of the downforce comes from the 3D floor,
hmm
they want to have a bigger, longer wheelbase because it means you've more to play with. So maybe that's their thinking, like for this new car. Is that the thinking? Like, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see until Mercedes come out, because Mercedes are the ones who usually use the 3D floor. Sorry, my fucking mind's going on like a freak. Right, so there we are. But yeah, make sure you're pumping those likes up, please. Please make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe.
Share the channel, please, if you can, guys. It really does help. Really does help me massively. So please do share it. Right, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right, any way you can, please do share it. Right, and subscribe if you are new on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, especially YouTube as well. Yeah, it really does help. So yeah, lastly, I think the last sort of point I want to touch upon is what was it? Trying to think now. Trying to
Isn't
think
that how
now.
it goes?
Right, obviously Hamilton, we all just discussed earlier him being back in F1. Doesn't look like Michael Massey's going to be fired. This guy
Should
is
be.
like, this guy is like Arteta, mate. He's moving like Arteta, bruv. Right?
Yeah.
This guy has got owners like Arteta, bruv. Right? They won't sack him. No, he's doing a shit job. Like it's like Ollie, and he won't get like in his final days at Ollie, he wasn't getting sacked because the
Right.
guys don't know what they're doing. The FIA don't know what they're doing. They're backing a guy who can't run a tough, mate. The the the, the guy, mate. Mate, the guy couldn't run a fucking bath, let alone a fucking F1 race, mate. Right? They call this guy a race director. He ain't a race director. He's a clown.
Yeah,
Like,
it's shambles.
right? He's about as bad as Anthony Taylor on a football pitch.
Oh,
Mate,
you're
I'm
supposed to
going there.
police the game and you're horrible
Yeah,
at your job.
he's appalling. Well, I can give you second position. Sorry, Ocon's there. It's right. What are you negotiating? No, no, no. Did you learn anything from Charlie?
No.
Obviously not. You gain respect by demanding respect. Like as as a race director, you don't get walked on.
Oh,
Like
straight up.
so, this can Hamilton really get stepped back in an F1 car and trust the authorities to stick to the rules?
I don't think he'd get back in the car if he didn't.
That's a good point.
He would have. I'm sure he thought about that
But
while he was
surely you
gone.
can't trust them. Surely you can't trust them to make the right decision. Surely not. Not after that.
No, but it looks like he's coming back, so
Well,
maybe
is
not.
Massey leaving then?
Maybe putting faith. Hey, that could be it too. But hey,
Is there a...
Steven, I gotta run.
Yeah,
But
definitely, man. Definitely.
Thank,
All right.
thanks again for having me. Always enjoy speaking with you and enjoying the content on the new channel. Very exciting. Everybody, thank you all for joining the show. Like, subscribe, share with friends. Let everybody know he has another channel, and let's get this one up and get this one to where the other one is.
Yes, definitely. Make sure you do that right now. And yeah, make sure you follow this guy. You can see his Twitter handle. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Do it right now. So yeah, big up, Brit, and I'll speak to you later, mate.
Hey, you betcha, buddy. Y'all take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Safe. Bye.
Will do.
Right. I will just go for this last point. And this is the thing. I don't think Hamilton can trust them. How can you trust them off a decision like that? You can't trust them. It's as simple as that, right? This guy can't run a bath, he can't run a tap, he can't do anything, right? This guy, Stevie Wonder, could direct this race is better than him. I'm not lying. This guy is a reliability. He cannot continue as the race director. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Because he's just going to keep damaging the reputation of F1. He's already damaged it enough. He doesn't need to continue doing it. So, sorry, he needs to go. End of story. End of effing story. You know what I mean, bruv? Right? And I'm sorry I have not been playing the music today. I keep forgetting to do so sometimes. So, but yeah, like, in the end of the day, that's my take on it. And I know it's more probably down to Hamilton's will not to give in and never give up. His will not to give up. He will continue fighting. He will not want to leave his leave his status as a F1 driver, leaving it in this way. He will want to fight and go out the right way. So that's why I think he's come back. Not to the fact that he knows Massey's on his way out or anything. I don't think the FIA have got the balls to do it. I don't think they have, mate. I don't think they have, guys. So there we are. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there, guys. It's getting late, and I've got to go to hospital in the morning. So we're gonna leave it there, guys. Big up everyone that's watching. Big up to everyone that has watched. If you haven't been able to watch it, please do watch it back. For us, it would really, really help us big time. Please do subscribe to the channel right now. Right, let's get this to 100 subscribers as soon as possible right now. Right, because trust me, once the F1 season starts, you're gonna love it. Like, I'm just gonna show you a sneak. Nah, I won't show you a sneak preview. You'll see some of like the designs that'll come up for this new season. So make sure you do it. Do subscribe and do hit the like button, hit the share button, share it with your friends. So yeah, we're heading out. Until then, I'm live tomorrow with the Aston Martin car launch, unless I'm stuck at the hospital or anything else. Or we are, and on if you want to catch us doing the Arsenal game, we're doing the Arsenal watch along, which is on SFeatleyTV at 7:15 in the evening tomorrow evening. So make sure you tune in for that. It's gonna be probably a horrible game to watch. But until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon.